The American Bulldog is one of the most powerful, intense and misunderstood breeds in the world. But behind all the muscle and the headlines is a deeply emotional dog, but a dog that is often too much for many owners to handle. This is Reggie. He's with me for the month at my canine sanctuary. Not because he's a bad dog, but because he was simply too much dog for the wrong person. And if you're thinking about getting an American Bulldog, or you've already got one, then you need to hear this first. This is the truth about American Bulldogs. To understand the American Bulldog, you need to understand where they came from and what they were built for. These dogs weren't bred to be pets. They were farm guardians, hog catchers, and working protection animals all across rural America. They needed to be strong enough to hold wild boar, tough enough to guard property, and loyal enough to work closely with their handlers. That's why they're built like tanks, but follow their people like shadows. Loyalty and power is hardwired into the breed. Over time, they nearly disappeared, but dedicated breeders kept the bloodlines alive. And today's American Bulldog is a combination of that raw, working heritage, but alongside a softer side that so many people never really get the chance to see. But don't let the cuddles fool you. That working ancestry is still right under the surface. So what actually makes a well-raised, well-bred American Bulldog an amazing companion? Well, first up, it has to be their loyalty. Once they bond with you, they're all in. Protective, affectionate, and deeply attached to their families. Take Reggie here. He doesn't want just to be near me. He wants to be with me, attached to me, glued to me. These dogs are Velcro dogs, packed with muscle. They're also confident, stable, and incredibly resilient. Loud noises, rough terrain, new environments, they usually handle it with calm, confident presence. And for a breed that looks so intense, they can be surprisingly gentle, especially with their people. They're lovely, sweet-hearted dogs. Give them structure, give them trust, and they'll give you their whole heart. American Bulldogs are powerful, athletic dogs, but like any breed, they come with their own set of health risks. And one of the biggest health concerns is joint issues. Hip and elbow dysplasia is very common, especially in poorly bred lines. They're also prone to skin conditions, allergies, and a condition called cherry eye, where the inner eyelid becomes inflamed and pops out. And because they've got those big, square, strong heads, they can sometimes struggle with their breathing, especially if they're carrying too much weight. The good news is many of these issues can be reduced with smart breeding, good diet, and proper care. But the reality is, if you're thinking about getting an American Bulldog, you have to be prepared, both physically and financially, for what that entails. And if you think health is where the risk stops, wait until you see what happens when this breed ends up in the wrong hands. Now, health issues are one thing. You can plan for those, you can budget for those, you can get insurance for those. But what people don't plan for is behavior. And that's what gets dogs like Reggie abandoned. Now, Reggie didn't end up at my canine sanctuary because of his health. It wasn't because of his skin or his joints. It was because somebody didn't know how to raise a breed like him properly. Now, if you're serious about getting a dog like an American Bulldog, you have to make sure that you train them right. And to do that, you have to make sure you check out my online academy. If you're getting an American Bulldog as a puppy, you need to check out my Perfect Puppy course. It's literally everything that you need to raise and train your American Bulldog, or any breed for that matter, to be your perfect canine companion. And if you've already got a breed like an American Bulldog and you're struggling with some behavior problems and you want to get it on track before they end up going the route like poor Reggie did, then you need to check out my Perfect Canine Companion course. It covers literally everything that you could ever need to change your dog's fate and switch the script to help them become perfect dogs. Because the truth is, dogs like Reggie don't fail on their own. They fail when people try to wing it with a breed that demands more. And the best thing is the way I'm able to run my canine sanctuary is because of the profits generated from our online academy. So not just will you be able to have your perfect canine companion, become a higher level canine leader yourself as part of the process, but you'll be supporting me and my team's work here at my sanctuary with dogs like Reggie and getting them out of shelters and keeping them off the euthanasia table. But let's get back to the American Bulldog and give an honest, balanced view and discuss their potential bad traits. American Bulldogs are big, powerful and intense, and if that energy isn't directed properly, it becomes a real problem. Take my mate Reggie, for example. He's not at my sanctuary because he's aggressive, it's because somebody misunderstood his breed and his requirements and didn't give him the leadership he needs. One of the most common issues, frustration-based reactivity. They're not naturally unstable, but when they don't get clarity, they start making their own decisions. Reggie's a perfect example. He's confident, smart, but he didn't get clear rules early on. And that spiraled into major behavior problems that no owner could manage. They can also be highly territorial. If they think it's their job to protect the home and you haven't taught them otherwise, that's exactly what they'll do. And with this much size and power, that is not a situation that you want to find yourself unprepared for. The hard truth is, most American Bulldogs end up in trouble, not because they're dangerous, but because their owners didn't take them seriously and give them the leadership a breed like this needs. But with that leadership, they can be wonderful dogs. But even with leadership, there's something else all dog needs. So let's look at that next. So how do you stop a dog like Reggie from ending up in a rescue in the first place? It's simple. You give them leadership and you give them fulfillment, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. Now, American Bulldogs need structure, clear boundaries, and strong leadership to thrive. They're not a breed that can sit on the sofa all day. Without stimulation, they'll create their own jobs, usually in the form of destruction, barking, or reactivity. Now, take Reggie, for example. Even just some work on some structured walks, some basic obedience, and some fun little tasks has made a huge difference to his behavior and his ability to be a perfect canine companion. You don't need to be a professional trainer. You just need consistency, boundaries, and 5 to 10 minutes a day where your dog has to use its brain and think. Now, fulfillment isn't just about exhausting your dog. It's about meeting their needs in a way that builds trust. And when you do that with a breed like this, you unlock the version of them that most people never get to see. Now, we've looked at their history, their potential, their health, what can go right and what can go wrong. So now let's score the American Bulldog across 6 categories and find out if they're the right breed for the average owner. First, for trainability and intelligence, I have to give it a 7 out of 10. They're smart, focused and capable, but they're not always eager to please. You've got to earn their trust and their respect before you get their attention. Friendliness with the family, 9 out of 10. When bonded with their people, they're affectionate, loyal, and incredibly loving. They live for their inner circle. Friendliness with strangers, 4 out of 10. They can be territorial, suspicious, and overly intense, especially without early socialization. You'll need to manage introductions properly. Friendliness with other dogs, 4 out of 10. Dog reactivity is common, especially with other males or in tight spaces. Some can live in multi-dog homes, but it takes serious management and skill. Health and maintenance, 6 out of 10. They're generally tough and low maintenance, but breeding and weight gain can create real problems, especially with joint, skin and breathing. And their behavioural stability is 5 out of 10. With the right leadership, they can be solid dogs. Without it, their power and intensity can tip them into dangerous territory fast. With a total score of 35 out of 60, the American Bulldog can be a great dog, but they're rarely a good fit for beginners. But for someone who is a calm, loving leader, the American Bulldog is a truly wonderful, gentle, soft, loyal dog breed. But what do you think? Do you agree with my score or do you think that I'm way off? Let me know down in the comments below and make sure you let us know which breed you want us to do next. And remember, if you want to have your perfect canine companion, whether it's the American Bulldog or any other breed, check out our courses listed in the description box below with a special discount to thank you for supporting the channel. And remember that that goes a long way to help us support rescue dogs like Reggie here at my sanctuary.